Make sure you smash that like button and smash that subscribe button. And let's get right into the news. Okay, so we're talking about Snoop Dogg and Eminem. Now, Snoop Dogg for years has done interviews and said that he does not listen to Eminem's music, which is I don't technically listen to Eminem's music all the time. Pick a few songs here and there. But I always respect the craft. You got to respect the craft of putting things together. He's a wordsmith, okay? I'm not saying he's the best rapper to ever live. He's just good at a section of rap. You can never call someone the best rapper for this and that because they're all good at different things. Certain rappers are good at storytelling. Certain rappers are good at painting a picture of the environment they grew up in. Certain rappers are good at just stunting, like stunt rap. There's so many different kinds of rappers, okay? Certain rappers get really deep with issues and informative rap. There's so many different kinds of rap. Eminem is not the best rapper ever, but he's the best in the field, in the section of hip hop he's in, okay? It's not because of sales. It's because he's just good at putting words together. Let's do some quick shout-outs here. We got Brian Lewis, Seth, G. Pizzo, Archie, Blankhand, and Capone, Seth Wayne. Okay, make sure you guys smash that like button and encourage others too in the room. So Snoop Dogg even went as far in old interviews. I should link it in here. I'll link it in when I re-put out this section. Snoop Dogg's imitating Eminem, like, oh, I don't make that stand type of rap, like, you're Eminem, and we know that. But like that was, I don't know why. There was a period where Snoop was in Snoop Dogg, let me say this. He is hip hop. Snoop Dogg is hip hop. Snoop Dogg's the most recognized person in hip hop. He is hip hop. But he's also human. So he's shout out to Joe Wall in Springfield, Massachusetts. What's Gordon Jason? What you say? Okay. Anyways, Snoop Dogg is hip hop, and he's been through 30 years of hip hop at this point, and it's hard to take the different changes that are happening, honestly. And I think that's why he has these rants that he goes on every once in a while that like, oh, this isn't real. This, remember he used to diss Snoop Dogg. He dissed a lot of rappers around 2008, 2009, 2010. Because that was a weird time for rappers moving into the social media movements. That was the explosion of Twitter, Instagram a few years later. But it really changed everything. And everything went to the internet. Really, like when YouTube came out, it really hit the music industry, I'd say around 2008 and 2009. Where rappers didn't know how to move in that yet. It was a little bit, what's going to happen here, So he said that Dr. Dre gets all the credit for Eminem. Well, that does help. It helped with 50 Cent. It helped with Snoop. I mean, let's be honest. Even though Snoop and Dr. Dre were a duo, in a sorts, Dr. Dre was a mastermind behind Snoop Dogg's album, which made it so his first album was an experience. Snoop Dogg's first album was an experience. I mean, I have to say that's one of the albums that made me fall in love with hip hop. Snoop Dogg's album. I mean, that was my first rap album, to be honest with you. And then I went back and got into Rakim and everything. A couple, in my teenage years, I went back and listened to those other albums. But when I got Snoop's album, I might have been, how old was I? It came out in 93. I was like 10, but I got it. I was like 10 years old. So I was like 9 or 10, probably 10. And I got that album. And then later, when I turned like 13, 14, I started going back and listening to like Rakim and stuff like that. So Snoop Dogg is responsible for a lot of people just being in hip hop. So like, it's a shame that this is so public and that Snoop said so many things public that Eminem felt he had to respond to him on his album just now and say, yo, I thought you were like a rap god, and then you're a rap dog, God backwards, like Eminem's just a wordsmith, bro. He is. He's not the best rapper to ever live, but he's the best guy to put words together. He would win any rap battle. Big L, of course, bro. I love Big L. I listened to Big L a lot in the 90s. And even after, obviously. Big L's legendary, bro. For such a short amount of time, Big L made a huge impact, and he's almost like what Stack Bundles was going to be in 2007, 6 and 7. You know, like Stack Bundles, I worked with Stack Bundles a lot, and his time got cut short, just like Big L's did, you know, and it's a shame, you know. But, you know, Snoop, yeah, I guess he thought that the hood wouldn't love him anymore if he really liked Eminem. I don't know. That was an old interview, and then the new one was like the new interview he did this year with after Versus. He kind of reiterated that, you know, that I don't like this Eminem stuff. You know, it's like, come on, bro. I thought we were about peace and love. I thought this was Snoop Lion. But anyways, then we got Lil Wayne is getting dragged. Spencer 42. Let me do a couple shout outs. Spencer 42, Wallaby, Seth Wayne, G Styles, Black Hand, Lamar, Ann Capone, G Styles. If I ever miss a name, always know I'm reading your comment at least, okay? Brian Lewis, Curtis Wright. You're not unnoticed in here. Darrell Roan, Joe Wall. You're all family. You're always a part of here. Mobb Deep, I was lucky to work with Mobb Deep. 20. We need more likes, bro. So hit the likes and let's get on to the next subject. And I appreciate you. C. Aries, you're always in the room. Wallaby. I see you guys. You guys are awesome. I encourage everybody to hit the like button. Okay, so Lil Wayne is getting dragged for selling the Drake and Nicki masters. But does anybody know the details? Absolutely not, okay? It was mentioned in some court documents where an old manager is taking him to court for $20 million, okay? And then we got everybody making assumptions that, you know, Drake and Nicki sold their masters, you know, because he got him back during the whole Birdman thing. He won the Birdman thing in court around like 2 or 3 years ago, got the masters back for Young Money, and now he sold them back to Universal for $100 million, right? Do you know, we don't know that is there a clause in there that can Drake and Nicki have an option to buy their masters back? No, we don't know that, okay? We don't know if they're getting a kickback from that. We don't know what's going on. We don't know, okay? And Lil Wayne it's mostly Cash Money practices and Birdman, even though he's a legend and changed the landscape of hip-hop, period, okay? And always will get his flowers for that. He didn't necessarily pay everybody because it was his that's a lot of responsibility. It's usually the label. They have a department for paying everybody. Birdman obviously didn't operate like that, and a lot of people allegedly didn't get their money on time, you know, and that's why you had so many cases in court against Cash Money, okay? They were one of the first labels to actually do everything on their own. They only had distribution deal with Universal. Universal didn't handle the payouts. They paid them, and it was their responsibility to do all the payouts. Eminem probably didn't want that responsibility with the masters, okay? I wouldn't either. But he does think about the artist's perspective. So we don't know if he detailed that or not. And you probably will never know unless Lil Wayne's like actually asked that question by somebody, which would be rare. He probably doesn't even know that people are going in on him online, you know, saying they're teasing him for messing with Trump and this, you know, like that's the stuff I'm seeing online. Wayne couldn't release his own music for years, but now he's selling them to Universal. Why would Wayne and Nicki give him? Why wouldn't he give him a chance to buy back their own masters? Lil Wayne did this, you know. It's like it's a bunch of stuff. Anyways, listen, we don't know all the details, you know. Lastly, we got Ralo denied bond for selling substance in jail. So they were going to find something and they found something. Smash that like button if you're in the room too. They found something to not release his masters. That's sad. I mean, I'm sorry, not to release him from jail. I was still on the Lil Wayne thought. They're not going to release him on bond, so that's sad. But anyways, just a Ralo update, and hopefully he's able to appeal that and come home. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being in the room. Albert, everybody, C. Aries, Spencer, Jay, Super Pax. I see everybody. I know Dallas is probably in here somewhere. Curtis. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a very safe night. I'm going to come back in about an hour or two and give you probably 2 hours, and give you some more updates. Smash that like button on your way out. I appreciate you guys so much, and I hope you guys have an amazing night. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, and I'll check you